Here we go. This is Wednesday, week 13, day 13 for web design. We talked about ads and tracking today. We're going to talk some more about that next Wednesday. And then we talked about website reviews. So the students have a list, and they're going to look through that list. And it was Art in the Park in Elkader. I was there, that's why we got that list. And they're going to review those sites and look for plus and minuses in those sites. There's quite a list, and I told them to get as many done as they could. We had interviews today. So what I did was I gave them a location in Canvas, and in Canvas then they can put in their interview information. They've had, each of them have had 2 interviews, so they can gather their thoughts. They should have lots of notes, or some notes, and put it in some form. In some form, you know, I told them they can use images and so forth, and they're going to put it right into Canvas. I actually have a content page in which they can add the content. Alright, so we're going to see how that works. Okay, that'll be fun. So, did talk about was we went over ads. We talked about location of the ads. We just talked about the concept in general. We spent some time on the type of ads. I mean, if you have an art page about your art, since a lot of our students are artists in this class, you could advertise something like art supplies. You know, maybe you would contact people who sell art materials, just as an example. Now, you don't have to have ads that are just like your site, but you want to think about what kind of ads you could have. And before we finish up the year, we'll talk a little bit about the fact ads generate money. And then the last thing today, we did look at trackers, cookies, fingerprint, and how these things work within web pages, and how people, like the example I gave is Facebook. We looked at Reply All. Reply All is a podcast on Gimlet. It was number 109. Facebook is watching you. It's way interesting, talking about how the whole conversation started for this podcast around people saying Facebook's listening to their phone. And there are a lot of people that believe that. So it's an interesting concept, especially since we're talking about ads now in the class. All right. Net neutrality is in the news. We'll talk about that next week. Well, thanks everyone, and we'll see you Wednesday.